Hello and welcome, Inspired Podcast community. This is your new episode. My name is Caroline, and my today's guest is Cassandra Willis. Yes, welcome to our podcast show. I'm so happy we met in person in September 2023 at the special event and training. Wow, it was so amazing. I remember this. Okay, and now let me introduce Cassie. She's an educator, author, and coach from Northern Ireland, now in Australia after pursuing and achieving her lifelong goal of becoming an Australian citizen. Um, you were in personal development for over 3 years, right? And you began or with the Bob Proctor coaching. Can you tell us
That's
a
right.
little bit about that?
Yeah, I can. So, like you say there, I had this lifelong goal to move to Australia and live and work here. And thank you, Caroline, for having me, by the way. I should have said that straight off the bat. Thank you. This is an honor to be here and share a little bit with you. And it's all about inspiring, and hopefully, this will inspire other people. Yeah, I had this lifelong goal to move to Australia. We had lived there when I was 2 years old, just for 1 year. So when we went back home to Northern Ireland, I grew up with this just real strong sense that I was meant to be in Australia. And as I say, it was a lifelong goal. And I fulfilled that goal eventually in 2017 when I moved to Australia. I got my permanent residency visa and I got a fabulous teaching job here, just a couple of hours north of Melbourne in Victoria. And you would think, whenever you achieve a goal, you kind of think there's going to be fireworks that go off, and that's happily ever after, and that's it. Wonderful job done, tick that off. And what I found was the opposite. I find that after achieving that huge, big lifelong goal and being so happy and moving here and having this wonderful job, um, lots of other things started to go wrong. But the main thing that I found that was wrong, if you like, was that I didn't have any new goals. I was drifting because it didn't even occur to me that I needed to set a new goal. I thought, brilliant, I've achieved my goal. I can now sit back and smell the roses and enjoy my life here in Australia happily ever after. But that's not what happens after you achieve a goal. And I drifted for a good few years. And I had seen Bob Proctor and I'd seen his programs and I'd seen different things about him. And it was like he was talking my language, but I just didn't have A, the confidence, B, the money, C, the drive at that point, or even the awareness to know that I needed to set another goal. I couldn't just smell the roses for the rest of my life. And eventually, 2021, I reached out and had a call with someone from the Bob Proctor organization, and I signed up for his 1 year program. And it was like night and day, everything changed. And what I understood and became aware of was that I had now got a new goal. I was setting goals again, I had a purpose again. I wasn't just drifting. I had a course, I had a port that I was heading to rather than just floating around at sea, not knowing where I was going. So that made a huge difference financially, personally, professionally. It just changed everything. But the main thing I got from that was that sense of purpose and awareness that I'm here for a reason. I know I am here. I know what I'm supposed to be doing, and I'm supposed to be helping people, and I'm supposed to be helping other people like me. Because one of the things I learned along the way was that our biggest obstacles provide us with the biggest opportunities. So whenever I looked at the obstacles that I was facing, I was like, okay, there's an opportunity to help other people in that situation, or there's an opportunity to develop something around that that's going to serve other people and help and inspire them, and hopefully give them a sense of purpose in their life where they might not be feeling that. So yeah, so since then I've had amazing adventures here in Australia. I've built some fantastic relationships. I'm at the peak of my career in education. I'm an assistant principal, and I got together with a few other people who had gone through Bob's program, and we put together a compilation book. And each chapter was a little bit about our story and our journey with Bob in that program. And we actually, all the authors were in the program the year that Bob passed. So we had been involved with him. We'd been live on calls with him. We'd learned from him, and then he passed away. But he left a legacy with us. And this book that we published then was a legacy to him, a real tribute to him and how he changed our lives and the difference that he made in our lives and our awareness. So that was a compilation book called My Year with Bob. And we released that on Amazon, which was amazing. I've since written a fiction novel, which I'm looking to get published at this point in time. I'm hoping to develop a movie script. And I've got big goals around personal development and how I can help other people to really understand their own purpose and journey here on earth. And in the education side of things, I am doing career coaching. I'm supporting other teachers to figure out their goals again, because I hear so often from teachers that, oh, I want to leave teaching, but I don't know what else I can do. I'm not fulfilled in my work, or I don't know how to apply for a job. I don't know how to do a successful interview. So I'm doing lots of career coaching to support other educators in applying for jobs, interviewing for jobs, but really before that, figuring out, is this the job you want, or what is it that you're here for? Let's figure that out first, and then we can get you along the journey to getting into that role, whatever it is. So that's where I'm at the moment. Lots of amazing things happening, and yeah, life is good again. Life feels on purpose. I feel aligned, and I'm so grateful to Bob. And I've been working with other people like Rami, Troy, Cleona, Kim Calvert, lots of different coaches in the personal development space who each in their own way inspire me and provide me with my mentorship so that I can then support other people too.
Wow, and thank you for sharing. This is really impressive and inspiring. And when I travel back in time, I remember that when I joined the Proctor Gallagher Institute in November 2021. So we were together in the coaching program, I think, because it was 2 months before he passed away, so to say. I don't remember you meeting there. It was also overwhelming for me. I was new, and there were like 300 people in the calls with Bob, and he was sitting there every week, and this was so amazing. Wow, thank you for reminding me. Oh, I'm inspired now. Okay, my next question is, what inspires you?
Gosh, what inspires me? Do you know, the question of what inspires is very similar to what am I grateful for, I think. And whenever I think about what I'm grateful for and what inspires me, I think the little things are often the big things. So, you know, a lot of people, when they might be asked that question, might say, oh, I'm inspired by this great leader or this amazing person who's achieved all of these fantastic things, or this wealthy person who has this beautiful house and car and plane and whatever it is. For me, it's the small things that are actually the big things in life. So sunsets inspire me. Sitting on the beach watching the sun go down inspires me. Having a cuddle with my dog inspires me. Talking to people who are creative but don't know how to use it inspires me and gives me so much excitement to go, well, here's how you could use this. Here's what you could do. And I love to share and give people ideas. So yeah, it's the little things, it's the little conversations, it's the little pieces of nature that light me up. It can be anything. It can be absolutely anything. I can find inspiration in the smallest of things. And yeah, I can admire people who've done incredible things and take inspiration from what they've done. But on a day-to-day basis, for me, it's the little things.
Oh, thank you so much. I think it is the gift to recognize it. Not everyone can find it peace or gratitude in the little things yet, because it's a learning process. Thank you so much. And my next question, who inspires you? You already mentioned it's
Mhm.
not necessarily in the people. We talked about Bob,
Mhm.
Rami, Troy. Who else do you have in mind?
My dad.
Oh,
My dad inspires me. My dad is probably the greatest human being I've ever met in my life. He's a beautiful person. And whenever I'm, sometimes when I'm trying to make a decision or I'm stuck on something or I'm in a situation where I've never been in that situation before, I kind of do that thing. What would my dad do? What would my dad say in this moment? How would he speak to and treat people in this environment? Um, yeah, so he's a huge big source of inspiration for me, and I think it is those day-to-day people in our lives that are probably going to inspire people the most because they're close to us and we have that emotional connection. I think today, especially working in schools, I see so many young people who look to TikTokers and influencers and celebrities for inspiration. Um, but in doing that, they try to be that person. They try to emulate that person in so many ways, rather than taking the good from the people they already know and feel connected to, and figuring out who they are themselves, because they're not a TikToker person. They're not a celebrity. They are them, and I am me. So I can only ever be me, but I can take the good that I see in other people, especially people I love and look up to in my life. And yeah, and add that to my portfolio of who I am. I want to be inspired by me. I
mhm.
want to have pull all the good together and feel that when I wake up, I'm my own inspiration because I've absorbed all of those good qualities from other people that I look to. So yeah, it's my day-to-day people that I love, while still admiring and taking the good from those great leaders that we've been inspired by in our on our journey.
Wow, I love that answer because at the end we find the answers in ourselves, right? Yeah,
Yeah,
the others are a reflection and yeah, and
that's
can
right.
ignite something that is already in us. Wow, how
Mm.
beautiful is this? Okay, my next question is, how do you inspire other people?
Gosh, that's always the hard one, isn't it? What am I doing that inspires other people? I definitely love to share, and like I say, with the book that I published
Mhm.
and with the work that I'm doing in career coaching, I definitely feel that I'm inspiring other educators and other people to understand how to set worthy goals and how to discover why they're here, what their purpose is, and how to bring that to into life. Whether it's going after a job or whether it's setting a huge goal or whether it's setting a small goal, I really love giving people something that will impact them. I love creating that emotional and human impact on others just by talking to them, just by talking to them about their potential, what they can do, and guiding them along that way whenever they feel stuck. So I definitely feel I'm inspiring people in that space. And hopefully I inspire friends and family that just know me. I get comments from people about my positivity, my optimism, and I've always been that kind of person. Even before personal development came into my life, I've always been a smiley, happy, positive person. And I guess that's a paradigm. That's a habit of mine that people notice and see in me, and feel inspired simply by that, by the fact that I don't have a victim mentality. I don't let negative moments bring me down. I don't let the water in. I don't let the ship sink by letting the water in, basically. And people see that, and they comment on that, and they feel inspired by that. So that's a nice gift that I like to give to people.
Wow. Thank you so much. So you give them, or you not give, you help them see their purpose.
I try to. Yeah.
Yeah.
I try to let them see and discover that themselves, but give them a little nudge along the way and a little bit of guidance whenever they don't know how to do that themselves. I think a lot of people drift and they don't realize they're here for a reason. So simply pointing that out and putting that thought in their mind that you're here for something. And if you're not happy with where you are now, there's a reason for that. Dissatisfaction is a great creator. It allows people to become really creative. And when people harness that and move forward with that thought, they'll find their gifts, they'll find their purpose.
Yes. Oh, thank you so much. And my next question is, what are your gifts and talents? You mentioned it before. You love smiling and inspiring people. What else?
I'm definitely very creative.
Mhm.
Yeah, I would say my superpowers are my creativity and my imagination, which is one of our higher faculties. I love to create new ideas and to be inspired, as I say, by nature or people's conversations or anything that helps me to bring together amazing thoughts to create an idea. I've been a choreographer, I've been a creative director for productions and musicals and that kind of thing. So I've definitely channeled my creativity and imagination into that in the past. Now it's moved into writing and it's moving into creating programs for career coaching and personal development coaching. So it's interesting how through our lives we channel our gifts and talents in different ways. And as we open new gifts and talents that we discover along the way, we find ways to use those. But those are probably my two biggest gifts and superpowers is my imagination and creativity and just using it in different ways to create new models that help other people.
Wow, I love that. Thank you so much for sharing and also for sharing your gifts and talents with the
Thank
world, to not holding back because there are a lot of people, they are taking it to their graves and
you.
they never share it or they are not aware of it. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, which is
Oh,
very sad. It's very sad. We're only here for such a short time,
mhm.
and yeah, it should be fun. I like to create fun. I like to say that my purpose is to create experiences, not just learning tools or not just things that people can read or look at. I love to create experiences. Sorry. So I think that's what we're here for. We're all here to experience life in whatever shape and form works for each of us individually. So that's a huge passion. And we're only here for a short time. Why do we not make why do we not go experience as much as possible?
I like how your dog reacted to the word experience. Yeah.
Sorry.
It's about experiences. That's true. It's not about gathering the information, studying all day long. It's about going out and also, yeah.
Applying what we know.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, my last question. When people reach out to you after listening to this episode, do you have a special offer for the Inspired Podcast community, or yeah, or how can they help you with something?
Oh, that's lovely, Caroline. Thank you. Yeah,
Mm.
I guess what I'm hoping that I can do for people is to share my gift for understanding how to help people get into jobs that they really want. So figure out firstly what their job or dream job or career is by looking at their goals and their gifts and talents and helping them then to create really high impact job applications to get the job, to get the interview that they want. And then to help them with interview skills, because there's an art to that. There's an art to actually doing an interview for a job. So I think those three things is what I'm hoping to offer to people. And yeah, reach out and have a chat, and we'll work out a special offer for how I can serve people with that. If people want to know more about the book, I can certainly share the link. It's on Amazon. I can share the book with them as well, which will hopefully further inspire people because we have 12 amazing people who've shared their story about personal development that will hopefully inspire whoever reads, that they'll resonate with at least one of the chapters in that book and really find something in that that helps move them forward. So that's what I'd love to offer to people, and people are very welcome to reach out and have a conversation with me, and let's get people into their dreams rather than just sticking with what they know and what they've moved into by habit. Let's get people their dream jobs, their dream careers, and yeah, I'll help them to do that.
And living their dream life like we created it for ourselves.
Absolutely, yes.
Wow. Thank you so much. This was an amazing interview.
You're very
Oh, I
welcome.
just enjoyed it. Thank you and see you in the next episode.